Gimel, the third letter of the 22-letter Hebrew alphabet, is said to have the number or the numerical value of 3. You could say it's a mode of transportation, voyager on a mission, goes back and forth, en route for delivery, just like UPS. Boomerang, sent on a mission, dispatched and expected to return, going back and forth, navigation, GPS, messenger. In a really simple version on Eric Bissel's website, erictology.net, he has an article there, and in that, Gimmel is explained as nexus, tethering, aleph in relationship to bet, movement away from self in reference toward an other, foot, throat, pipeline, reaching out to connect. In Scripture, we have many instances of the principle of sowing and reaping. Here's Psalms 126, verse 5. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. And I'm actually going to read Psalms 126 because it was just so good. When Yahweh turns back the captivity of Zion, we shall be like dreamers, when our mouth shall be filled with laughter and our tongue with singing. Then shall they say among the nations, Yahweh has done great deeds for them. Yahweh shall do great deeds for us. We shall be glad. Turn back our captivity, O Yahweh. Like the streams in the south, those sowing in tears shall reap with songs of joy. He who goes on and weeps, bearing seed for sowing, shall indeed come in with rejoicing, bearing his sheaves. And that's read from the Scriptures. In Hosea 10:12, we're told, sow for yourselves righteousness, reap in mercy, break up your tillable ground. It is time to seek Yahweh till he comes and rains righteousness on you. Jeremiah 17:10 tells us, I, Yahweh, search out the heart. I try the kidneys and give to each man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his deeds. A green cypress tree. So we're going to look at the chart, and I'm going to read the column of Gimmel, Aleph through Tav, and that reads, dynamic, not static, camel, transport, carry, gather, back and forth, reciprocal, swing, scent, throat, conduit, path, cogs, reoccurring phrases. In Scripture, we have quite a few instances of if, then, linkage, related cycles, repetition, foot, released, let go, gift, practice, repeat. In music, we have verse, chorus, refrain, jump, root, maze, cause, and effect. Resources, embark, journey, extend out, away, recompense, supplier, neck, connect, nexus, divorced, retrieved. In a brief explanation, Eric Bissell describes Gimmel as go get navigation, mobility with a foot, trucking, sent on a mission, boomerang, dispatched and expected to return, emissary, messenger, camel, import, export. In the idea of teshuvah, we have the idea of return. Gimmel is sent out on a rescue team to find the lost one, to retrieve, putting boots on the ground, walkabout, going back and forth, cutting all ties, burning the boats, no bridge for which to escape, win or fail. So we're going to go to articles on the website. It's erictology.net. And there's an article there, Jeremiah 31, and Eric Bissell expounds the verses 1, 2, and 3. And that article reads, so declares Yahuwah, to the befouled exiles who were banished from his encampment of favor and protection to the wilderness, people who survived slaughter, escaped the sword, go out, find grace, go search for a repository, a vault for safekeeping of the nourishing essentials for life. There is a secure warehouse, a treasury of provisions in language, the place of words. the place where we agree to stipulations together, both of us, specifically. Not just any words, but those in association with the legal rules I have written by my own finger. I have maintained their survival. The protocols of my dominion have escaped distortion. Their integrity has been preserved for your brilliance to direct your steps, like a charged up motion detector floodlight, in order to restore your relaxed calm instantaneously. Once Israel is on the right path, from the distant past, so remote it has been dismissed as nothing, Yahuwah enlightened the exhibition and allowed me to see. He caused my perception to behold proof of his everlasting love. The trace can be detected in the old law written on stone, and it is the most ancient of any artifact in the universe, and I love it. What a fantastic gift. It is all the pleasures of life mankind has been searching for, most definitely. It sticks in your mind like a barbed fishhook as it sharpens your understanding. I will entice you with my love, the epitome, the highest truth. I will draw you to my secret refuge of intellectual tranquility. I will capture you as you contemplate my words, listening and pondering. Every time I will build you up, instilling life from within by understanding the pattern. It is the formula, the bullseye for being Betula Israel, restored to innocence. Be recovered, be my jewel, you are my beauty, you have always been my splendor. I adorn myself with you. Bloom in success, blossom with prosperity, dance in forgiveness, revel as my celestial partner resurrected. Imitate me, my sweetness, just smile. In 1 John 5:2, it reads, by this we know that we love the children of Elohim, when we love Elohim and guard his commands. And that is from the scripture. And I'm going to do a similar exercise where I look at every letter with the paleo definition and expound this verse. So here's my notebook. You can see I have the scripture written at the top, and I use two different references or different versions of the Bible. And at the time I was using the scripture and ESV. And then I have 1 John 5:2 referenced. And then I would write out the paleo, and I had to write the name of the letter underneath because I just was not familiar with the paleo letters yet. And then you can see I have a double red line to actually show myself the distinction word by word through this verse. And sometimes I could find words that repeated. So I would do some sort of pattern above the word just to remind myself that it was similar or repeating through the verse. So this first word is Bet Zion Aleph Tav. And my expounding of this, or my rendition of this verse, would be, or just of the word actually. So this first word we have enclosed as a weapon, incorporated as a weapon. The plan is certain for sure as the covenant. And that second word leaps out if chosen to freedom, as you are conscious with introspection as you examine yourself in a mirror. The third word, help has been extended to restore, to save with strength, with active involvement, showing existence, exact reality, specifications with quality communication. This fourth word, I read one direction and then I did it the opposite direction just to see if there was any difference. So it's a little bit of creative license. The training gives life to the plan of the Creator, so give attention. And then the other direction, the plan is embodied. You can see that's a bet idea. Encased, exactly steadfast in the training, so pay attention. And the fifth word, the Creator's plan is certain as the covenant. His involvement, plumb line, is in the quality communication, precision assignments regarding the choice about which to practice. Get it right, repeat. So we're given options to do good in our life, and then oftentimes we find just the next opportunity to do good. So we're repeating that, or if we choose not to, we would be impoverished if not followed. So that's a shin idea where we are blessed or we are offered blessings for obedience, and there is complete annihilation for not following his ways. I do by my own authority. My involvement is active and executive. Continuing on, I did not break this up word by word, but this is just the rest of the verse. I will, as creator, display power as expressed, enforced in exact timing. So pay attention. The existence, reality is by my own authority. I actively am involved with executive purpose that will break forth and become apparent. The plan leaps out, is put into action, incorporated. Pay attention. The connection of the plan, strategy, ultimately and certain, will become apparent, breaking forth in the epitome of excellence. It is the proof, the exact target, completed, ultimately for certain, with collateral on deposit, guaranteeing a solid agreement is completed. The active training allocated with exact instructions is nurtured to become apparent, to leap, break forth into a virtuous high calling of decision making. Choose life. Be righteous. So now we're going to do some dictionary practice. If you have your red dictionary available, please turn to page 102. We're going to look at Gimel, Mem, Wa, Lamed. So that Gimel, we have the delivery system or back and forth action. The Mem, we have that perfect environment of sustenance and growth. The Wa, the connection to, and Lamed, the teaching or instructions, learning, something like that. And in the dictionary, we have a person rewarded, action, deed, recompense, reward, benefit. If I add a hey to the end, it's deeds, recompense, reward. If you turn to page 109, we'll look for Gimel, Resh, Samach. Again, that Gimel, transportation system, back and forth motion, Resh, the righteous decision maker, and Samach, his instructions or protocol, engineered structure. And in the dictionary, it is defined to learn, to study, to read the meaning, to determine, to maintain. He spoke, he uttered, and it continues on in the next page. He learned, studied, read the meaning, he determined, he maintained, claimed. On page 105, we'll look for Gimel, Nun, Nun. So those two nuns, I think, are emphasized in meaning. So we have Gimel, that delivery system, back and forth action, and Nun, springing forth to life. In the dictionary, it's defined to defend, protect, guard, shelter. He protected, cover, he covered, concealed. He defended, protected, guarded. And that's repeated. On page 139, we're going to look for Hey, Gimel, Nun, Hey. So you can see I'm using the root word of Gimel, Nun, which is actually defined as garden in the dictionary. So something you would be protecting, and we'll add the prefix hey and the suffix hey and see what changes. And that is defined protection, defense. He defended, protected, so very similar, even though we've added the hey to the beginning. Again, we'll use mem as a prefix here, and kind of mem-wa. So mem-wa, Gimel, Nun. Mem, that perfect sustenance and growth, that perfect environment. Wa, the connection to. Gimel, that back and forth action or delivery system. And Nun, springing forth to life. It's defined in the dictionary as defended, protected. Was defended, was protected. So So I hope that helps just seeing how the words can grow in spelling and yet the definition kind of stays the same. Okay, so Deuteronomy 1:29 through 33. This is a shield card from Eric Bissell's Shield Project. And I'm going to read sorry, I really thought I had this. Deuteronomy 1. Oh, yes. Okay, Deuteronomy 1, verses 29 through 33. Then I said to you, have no dread or fear of them. Yahweh, your Elohim, who is going before you, he does fight for you, according to all he did for you in Mitzrayim before your eyes. And in the wilderness, where you saw how Yahweh, your Elohim, has borne you as a man bears his son, in all the way that you went until you came to this place. Yet in this matter, you are putting no trust in Yahweh, your Elohim, who is going before you in the way to seek out a place for you, to pitch your tents, to show you the way you should go, in fire by night and a cloud by day. That entire chapter, again and again, has these Gimmel concepts, and it's a wonderful chapter. I hope you'll read the whole chapter of Deuteronomy 1. Okay, we're going to read Psalms 119, verses 17 through 24. That is the Gimmel stanza. Do good to your servant, let me live, and I guard your word. Open my eyes that I might see wonders. Remember, that's the word paleo from your Torah. I am a sojourner in the earth. Do not hide your commands from me. My being is crushed with longing for your right rulings at all times. You rebuked the proud, cursed ones who are straying from your commands. Remove from me reproach and scorn, for I have observed your witnesses. Though princes sat speaking against me, your servant meditates on your laws. Your witnesses also are my delight, my counselors. If we look at the Gimmel words in that stanza, remember it's just the first word at the beginning of each line. And again, we're reading right to left. So I have Gimel, Mem, Lamed, and that is recompense on payday, something that you've earned. And I'm just going to read the definition part, just kind of as a poem. Carefully measuring everything accumulated. What is foreign doesn't belong. Alien culture. Every letter of every word. Learn, determine, read the meaning. Interpret the text by crumbles, crushed, smashed. Disintegrate the engineered structure. There will be scolding, rebuke, vibrant wailing, weeping. Everything uncovered, detected, revealed, ejected, exiled, thrown out. Many, many. So again, we have Gimmel, the third letter. Think of the transportation system, delivery, going back and forth, sent out on a mission, and yet coming back and recovered. So far we've gone through Aleph, Bet, and Gimmel. That Gimmel is the sent one to retrieve us home again. And Genesis 1, verse 2. Going to read the paleo. This is quite a few words. So if you're just beginning and recognizing the letters, and you would read Wah, Hey, Aleph, Resh, Zadi, Hey, Yod, Tav, Hey, Wah, Bet, Hey, Wah, Chet, Shin, Kaf, Aleph, Lamed, Pei, Nun, Yod, Tav, Hey, Wah, Mem, Wah, Resh, Wah, Chet, Aleph, Lamed, Hey, Yod, Mem, Mem, Resh, Chet, Pei, Tav, Aleph, Lamed, Pei, Nun, Yod, Hey, Mem, Yod, Mem. And I'm going to read just my rendition of this, which would be Waha Aretz, Ha Yitaha, Tahawa, Wa Be Hawa, Wahashaka, Allah Panai, Tahewama, Wa Rawa Chaha, Ala he yima. Maracha peta. Ala penayi. Hama yima. So I hope that's helpful in thinking of the Gimmel. Okay, I want to read Hosea 14 just because I thought, demonstrated the Gimmel action really well. So Hosea 14 reads, O Israel, return to Yahweh your Elohim, for you have stumbled by your crookedness. Take words with you and return to Yahweh. Say to him, take away all crookedness and accept what is good, and we render the bulls of our lips. Asher does not save us. We do not ride on horses, nor ever again do we say to the work of our hands, our mighty ones, for the fatherless finds compassion in you. I shall heal their backsliding. I shall love them spontaneously, for my displeasure has turned away from him. I shall be like the dew to Israel. He shall blossom like the lily and strike out his roots like Lebanon. His branches shall spread, and his splendor shall be like an olive tree, and his fragrance like Lebanon. Those who dwell under his shadow shall return. They shall revive like grain and blossom like the vine, and become as fragrant as the wine of Lebanon. What more has Ephraim to do with idols? It is I who answer and look after him. I am like a green cypress tree. Your fruit comes from me. Who is wise and understands these words, discerning and knows them? For the ways of Yahweh are straight, and the righteous walk in them, but the transgressors stumble in them.